Wake that up.
LA's #1 hip-hop morning show is Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106.
Nick Cannon Radio, up close and personal conversations. Yes, it is time to get up close and personal with people that I admire, people that are doing big things in the game, making multiple moves, and this gentleman is doing all the above. If you don't know about him, man, you lost, you late. Get with it or get left with it. You know how we do. My man Marc Bassy, what's good, man?
What's good, man? Happy to be here.
Man, so tell me, new project out, deluxe album.
Yeah,
What
man.
does deluxe album mean?
Deluxe is, I think, industry-wise, maybe that's a way for, generally speaking, for people to kind of reintroduce their project and get people, to come back to it. And
so you got the hits that you already had with a couple of new joints?
It's kind of like sometimes people phone it in and just like, let's throw 5 more on there because the single was popping and see if people go back and listen to the whole thing again. But for us, this is my first independent album that came out on my label. It's called New Gold Medal.
Oh, dope.
And I was like signed my whole life, like in various bands and, and as a solo artist too. So since this was my first project and we've been pushing it independently, we just wanted people to come back to it. And I got this new record with Tory on it that's crazy. Yeah. And just kind of added a couple more that were kind of just making the cut that we kept working on that got better after the album was done. So
let's talk that for a second, man, because knowing like you said, you've been around for a minute. You got a fire record with Tory Lanez right now. You've been in the studio with the likes of Ty Dolla $ign, Wiz Khalifa. The list probably goes on. Obviously, everybody knows the G-Eazy connection, all the way to CeeLo. Like your journey a little bit, man. Like did it start in the Bay and then it was like, you seem like one of those cats that's just like, all right, I'm out here. If I need to write a song, if I need to produce a song, if I need to be in a group, if I need to be a solo artist, this is my life. This is what I do. But there's been a few iterations of your talents and how it's been presented. And how do you stay so resilient within it?
Damn. That's a great question. I started not to like age myself, but I'm grown,
We grown ass men out
here. I started making music like before internet culture, So at that time, I was like the little white dude that freestyle that everyone was like Eminem,
right.
And that was corny at the time, so I was like, can't do that, right. But I really wanted to be in music, and I had a fairly like traumatic adolescence, so it was just like I needed some type of outlet. Right. So I wrote like poetry, all that. Like when like Def Poetry Jam was on, I would like go to poetry slams. I was involved in stuff like that.
Spoken word.
All that. And that's kind of making a comeback too, which I'm happy to see. That was not cool for like a decade or something, but that's kind of back. So that led me into a band, and I was in a band that was kind of like on some like the Roots, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Cali
native
music,
tongue vibe,
that kind of thing. So I did that, and I got a deal, and we were signed. But I was like,
what was the name of the
That was
band?
called 2 AM Club.
Okay.
So we were on RCA. And that was fun. Like I got to move to New York. I went from like I got like $70,000 one day.
Well, nice.
Spent in like a month. Like, I had no idea about anything.
Right.
So I had that version of my career was just I didn't even know songwriting was a thing. I just thought people were in bands, but I wrote all the songs. In the band. Well, with my guys, but mostly me. And then that led into doing songwriting, and I linked up with my guy Nick Nack after the band broke up. And then we started working on
producer.
And my guy Bobby Brackens too. So we have this whole like Bay Area collective that had all moved down here. And then we kind of got together like 13, 14. And we were just living in this my manager too, we were living in like on Airdrome, like Pico and Fairfax basically. And we had the lab and the same story as everybody, But at that time we were working with like Sean Kingston, and then Chris Brown was involved in some of the songs that we were doing. Ty was around, so just like that era, I was like part of that as a writer. And then a couple of my brothers started getting like number ones, and I'd be sitting there, and like it'd be like the one song that I had nothing to do with.
Like damn it!
I
went to the bathroom when they wrote that shit.
I was in there writing for a year straight. That's all we did. right, drink, right. Like
Yeah.
the whole time. It's not like we didn't have any money, so we weren't like partying at the club, but we were partying in the house. But
Yeah.
so then I was like, I got to take my own career more seriously again. And I went through like a rough heartbreak. Like,
one of those.
So that motivated me too. And then I just took my own career seriously and started being more authentic in my own music. Sometimes when you're like really fucked off and like things go bad, then you have to be authentic. You know, like you just have no choice.
Facts.
So I kind of was in that position, and then this Marc E Bassy wave's been like 4 years.
Yeah.
I was signed. I was on Universal Republic. I actually had a good relationship with them. We got a top 10 for a little bit, but once it kind of started to diminish a little bit, they were like, we're seeing diminishing returns with you, Bassy. So I was like, let me out of here. I don't want to fight that.
Right.
So now that was a long-winded answer, but now
that was what you laid it all out.
That's the story. So, but and now I'm more motivated than ever right now. I have been in my whole life. So. And
then like one thing I was interested, as you know, you had different iterations. Your name, is that the stage name, or is that
my real name?
So where did it come from?
So my producer and partner in most of my Marc E Bassy music, he started off as a beat maker going by Count Bassy, like the famous jazz musician, but Bassy, because he was making like
bass joints.
His
808 was knocking.
His 808 was knocking. So he was in San Francisco, where I'm from, and he was a graphic designer, and he didn't take music seriously. And I was like, bro, you have to take this seriously.
Right.
And so I just took his name as a way of being like, I'm going to be in L.A., and people are going to start calling me your name, and I'm going to be Marc E Bassy. The Marc E part is weird. That's just what all the women in my family. I'm like one of those dudes with a family full of women.
Yeah.
They call me Marky. So I'm Marc E Bassy. And as like the name grew, then he was like, fuck, I guess I got to move to L.A. and do this with you. So he did. And so it really just came from me. It was my way of getting my
motivating
someone to come along with me.
Yeah. There it is. And that's strong, man. And the new project, like, again, it's really you doing it on your own. So that's commendable to jump out there and know you've had different, incarnations of an industry career, but to put it all in your own hands, what's that pressure like?
I'm not it's not pressure to me, it's fun. Like I'm
you'd rather do it this way.
I just like,
you don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to worry about the returns and all of that stuff.
But even when I did that, we're in that's the time we're in. It's a renaissance for people to take their career into their own hands. Like everything that people learn from people like Nipsey, and you're on Instagram and you see like United Masters and all these chants, sort of. There's like a lot of people are independent now. You can still go get funded. You can still get distribution and get a bag if you need to. There's so many ways to do it. So we didn't really lose out on anything.
Yeah.
And this business is so much about relationships. My manager is really good at, we could probably go get distributed through my old label if he tried hard enough. Just because our relationships are so good with people. So that's kind of, sometimes I lose sleep. Like, why am I not fucking able right now, or like Drake right now? But at the same time, like, I've gotten better at just being grateful. Like, I got a nice crib and my life is good, and the people around me, we are building something together where it's really just whatever we put into it is what we get out of it. And there's no like there's not some big corporation that's gonna have anything to do with this, really.
Yeah, that's dope. So let's talk artistically for a moment. I mean, what's exciting you right now, specifically about your project, and then just in the game in general?
I listened to Rosalia all day yesterday.
All right. Yeah.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
It's like flamenco music on top hits.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think people realize how crazy that is. Yeah. But I mean, musically, I listen to a lot of old school music, but I love the whole new wave. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I like this better before. I embrace like.
But even with your own sound,
with
like,
my own sound,
are you saying like, yo, I'm presenting this, or on this project you're gonna get a little bit of this?
Yes. Okay, sorry. For myself, my album's called Postmodern Depression.
Right.
And it was kind of, I've been in LA, like the song, bro. I've been in LA too long. Like, I've been here since I was 18, and you don't realize how much of consumer culture impacts you when you live in LA. Like, people really value you in LA based on how much money you have. Like, it's a cliche, but it's really true. Like, the way everyone looks at you, talks to you, if everyone in this room found out that I had just sold my publishing catalog for $30 million, like, I would be treated differently at the door, and that's
we would treat you the same way.
For real. No, but I just mean that. That's kind of depressing in a way. So that was like a year ago. I was kind of struggling with that more, and then just how much music deals with anxiety and depression. Yeah. My album, I was trying to like talk about that in the album, but stylistically, it's really just, I've been on kind of like the wave that's happening, like that took off all the way with like Post Malone, Trevor Daniel, like Bryson Tiller, just like that whole wave. I've really been on about that. Yeah. I think I'm the first person to put like a triplet Migos flow on an R&B song. It was before Bryson. I really might be the first one.
Hey, own it.
I'm not owning it because I don't know.
Bang your gang.
But it was a pitch song I did for a Latin artist. Called Prince Royce. So if anyone wants to look it up, it's called Dangerous. I never heard anyone do it before me, but my style is, I'm a hip hop kid. I grew up listening to Bay Area hip hop, but I also grew up listening to classic soul music. So all my music is kind of a confluence of those things. But the new shit is like the joint with Tory is like on like a Party Next Door Afrobeat kind of thing. That I was with. Tory's like one of the most talented artists I've ever met in my life. So I was excited to get him on it. And then I have like a political song that I put out. I'm trying to pull that off. That's almost impossible. It's called Politics as Usual. I don't know how people are gonna react to it because you don't really hear like Kendrick's the only person that could do that. I feel like that really tries to put a message in the music, but on the deluxe there's one. I'm really excited to see like what people think of it. It doesn't sound like a pop song or whatever, but it has a message, so that's cool too.
Hey man, well it's out now and you gotta make sure you go cop it. It's official, man, Marc E. Bassy. But before we let you go, you see I got the bulletproof vest on. We got to put you in the firing squad. You in the hot seat. Quick questions.
All right.
Rapid fire. Answer them how you want to answer them. The first one is a psychological question based off of Nico Machiavelli. Is love and fear. Which one would you rather be, loved or feared?
Loved.
All right. Speaking of fear,
everyone says feared, huh?
Nah, gang members say fear.
Yeah.
Everybody else say love. Speaking of fear, though, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is that I just end up like a rock and roll cliche drug addict deadbeat dad.
Don't do that. Best piece of
I'm not going to do that, but that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, best piece of advice you've ever received.
It takes a lifetime to know yourself.
Worst piece of advice.
Not the worst piece of it. It kind of is the worst. Sorry, but when people in the industry is like, do you want to be a superstar?
Yeah.
It's like, that's so corny. That always puts everyone in the mindset of like, it's like a 1980s like
machine that they put you through in like a music montage and they watch you go from rags to riches.
That happens.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Favorite movie of all time?
White Man Can't Jump.
All right. Favorite cuss word?
Bitch.
You're on an island. You only can take 3 items. Stranded. What are you taking with you?
Like besides water and food?
Yeah,
do I get that?
It's up to you.
Oh, it'll be on the island.
Oh, it's your island.
3 items. I mean, my home pod. Can I have that?
All right.
That would cover a lot.
Yeah.
Probably like a shotgun.
Okay, you're gonna kill some shit.
You know. In a boat.
All right. Not smart man. Biggest guilty pleasure.
Promiscuous sex? No, I'm just kidding.
Why not?
I mean,
that's the first thing that came to your mind.
No, I like hallucinogenics.
Okay. Most prized possession.
Like I'm like a journaler.
Okay.
I don't think that's the word, but like I have like some big ass journals full of like all my thoughts and feelings since I was like 16.
Nice. Favorite quote?
What's my favorite quote? Damn. Find what you love and let it kill you.
Oh, all right.
Bukowski.
Yeah. That's strong right there. All right, your worst job?
I worked on a moving truck for a year and a half in the Valley, Hollywood Movers in
Really?
Reseda. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was beastie.
Back-breaking shit.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
it was all like ex-convicts, like fresh out cats and me. And they were down to work like 20 hours a day. They were
Right.
hungry. And I was a brat, so they
And
would
he's
just be
like, man,
whipping
I got to
my
get back
ass.
to the studio.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Childhood celebrity crush?
Stacey Dash.
Okay.
When I was really little. But she
Clueless.
turned into like a psycho Republican nut job.
She was fired
What
for a long
happened?
time, right?
Yeah.
All right. We always ask this: one album that you could listen to for the rest of your life, but you only could listen to this, nothing else.
I only get to pick one.
Yep.
Voodoo, D'Angelo.
Oh, that's a fire one.
Yeah.
Fan out moment. We all have them. You get to meet somebody you never thought you would meet before.
Okay, this is before I was used to meeting famous people. I was younger, and I started kicking it with Stevie Wonder's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And this is when like I had discovered Stevie when I was like, when I was a kid, but I started listening to him a lot when I was like 15, 16. And so I get close with his daughter, and I'm like, I knew it's his daughter, so I'm like trying to be on my best behavior all the time. And like, she's like, it's my dad's birthday. Do you want to come? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm like shaking already.
Yeah, right.
It's like in a week or something. And I'm thinking I'm going to go to like a place where there's hundreds of people. And I go and it's just 12 people. It was like off of Crenshaw, in this like big ass house. They had like some fire, like I'm not from LA, but it was like a famous LA. It wasn't like Roscoe's, but it was like some upscale Southern food catering. And then
probably Harold and Bales.
It could have been that. So then we go and Stevie's there, and I'm just sitting across from him.
Wow.
And I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And she was just laughing at me. And then at the end, like people line up to say like happy birthday.
Yeah.
But he's obviously he can't see, but I'm just sitting.
So they say.
Just like It's a conspiracy. But I was just standing across from him the whole time. I was probably 20. I was like.
Yeah, man, that's
shaking.
Stevie Wonder. That's the greatest artist
ever
to live.
But he gave a speech about how much he loves LA and all the women in LA. And it was like, it blew my mind. Like, it was just all these, like, beautiful women in their 40s.
Sounds like
goat.
Stevie.
I was like,
goat,
God.
for real.
But yeah, I couldn't even get a word out. So I regret that. I wish I could have said something.
Well,
Thank
Stevie,
you.
if you listening.
Mr. Stevie.
Yeah.
Brought a lot of joy to my life and my mom's life.
Speaking of, man, we always got to do the top 5, but we'll flip it for however you want to do it. But, Marc E. Bassy's top 5. It could be the top 5 artists that inspire
we can
you.
talk rappers. Is that what it usually is?
I mean, we do it all. Like, just
okay.
based off of your top 5 inspirational. We could top 5 MCs. Like,
okay. For me, it's my top 5 artists makes me feel corny when I say them, but okay, one is Nas.
Okay.
Tupac, I went to the same high school as Tupac.
Nice.
He's from Marin City.
Yeah.
That's like where I was in high school. So Pac's always number 1. Nas is always number 2. Because for some reason I got Illmatic when I was really little.
Yeah.
And that's still the best complete hip hop album of all time to me.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't care. It's just like I can't
Better
believe.
than Life After Death.
Yes. And because, like, if you listen to it, he's like 18.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if an 18-year-old right now was that poetic and observant?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe. Now that I'm older, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
That's a kid.
Yeah.
18, you're still a child.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Anyways, Illmatic. But a lot of the rest of Nas's career, I don't like. I have nothing, I don't know. I have no opinion. But Tupac, Nas, D'Angelo.
Okay.
Donny Hathaway.
Okay.
It's really big in my life. And Bob Dylan.
I ain't heard nothing corny yet.
But I didn't mean, but I don't like to be like all the very best people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donny Hathaway, like a lot of people don't really know how good he was.
Man, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My family's from this, like half of my family's from the South, so they were like really tapped into real soul music.
Yeah.
But I think like mainstream culture doesn't know about a lot of that. And then I would say like George Clinton, like Parliament
father,
Funkadelic.
you godfather them in.
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Cause I've been listening to like a lot of funk music recently, and like I don't know. I can't believe they just made that.
Yeah.
You take it for granted that exists.
The hallucinogenics you talked about.
Yeah. That's actually what started the whole thing.
Yeah, that's where the funk come from.
Yeah, that's real.
Man, so we always end the firing squad this way. I mean, you talked a lot about legacy and your journey. When it's all said and done, when describing your legacy, Marc E. Bassy, one word that describes who you are.
I wish I could say something like profound. One word?
One word. They're going to remember you by this word. He was
kind.
Kind. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an up close and personal conversation with the kind.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah, that's what you said. You want to be known as kind.
Yeah, fuck it. I do. I'd like to be kind.
Yeah, the kind artist.
Kindness is everything.
Kindness, he brings the kindness to his music. Marc E. Bassy, let's get to it.